Traveling in India can easily be the most fulfilling experience for a foreigner. And sometimes, if there is a place where some of the strangest and the most memorable things could happen, it is also India. So, based on these 6 incidents, let's see how India treated me when I was unmarried, and also how Indians treated me when I traveled around their country with our child. So, this incident took place in Maharashtra around the Ajanta and Ellora caves. We had spent the entire day exploring and admiring the majestic caves. It was getting dark, we were all very exhausted and hungry, and wanted to return to our hotel as soon as possible. There was a local guy who appeared very friendly and asked us to visit his house in his village, which was just a few minutes' walk from the caves. We were a group of 4, 2 girls and 2 boys. And of course, my then boyfriend Anurag was with us too. As soon as I entered the village, we were greeted by so many happy children who surrounded us and played with us. These children appeared to me far happier than the average child in Europe. Of course, as for the local guy who took us to his home, we met his old mother, his entire family, and even some neighbors. Anurag spotted something that they call khat or charpai in India. He wanted us to experience how it feels to lie down on that, because he said he had spent years sleeping on something similar while growing up. To be honest, I didn't find it that comfortable. Anyway, this was the first time I ate homemade chapati in India, something I will never forget. The second incident was actually a bit embarrassing, and I think it happened in Tamil Nadu. So back then, our child had developed a habit of finding the wardrobe in a house, going inside it, and emptying it almost completely by throwing out all the clothes. Even my husband had scolded him a few times.
ऐसे करते हैं ये पापा के कपड़े हैं.
Now, we were in our host's place in Tamil Nadu, and our son found their wardrobe and did the same. To be honest, I was a bit embarrassed, but our hosts were so kind and loving that they didn't mind at all. We even had chettinad veg curry, a taste so amazing that I will never forget it. And of course, I can still feel the elephant's trunk on my head. That happened in a temple near Chennai. The third incident took place in Mizoram. My husband has some special fascination for waterfalls, but I'm always a little afraid to join him. On that particular day, as my husband went out to look for a waterfall, I decided to stay in the hotel, which was actually homestay accommodation. The owners of the property had a little grocery store, and that became our son's playground. There was an old lady and so many kids. Trust me, they all were so kind to him that our son never wanted to leave them. Now, this particular incident happened in Jharkhand. Again, our little child had found lots of friends. He was out with them for the entire day. He even had some piano lessons. It was absolutely overwhelming to experience their unconditional love, generosity, hospitality, and happiness.
अरे ये कैसे संगीतकार भाग गए?
On this occasion, we were driving around a small town in Maharashtra. It was a tribal area with almost no restaurants. Our driver figured out that we were a bit hungry, as our lunch was already delayed. I was with my husband and son. Suddenly, our driver stopped the car and, very politely, asked if we would allow him to take us to his home, which was around the corner. We said yes, and of course we received unbelievable hospitality from his family. His mother made fresh puran poli for us. They welcomed me in their traditional style. His family even gave us gifts. I was so emotional and could hardly hold back my tears. And finally, incident number 6. This was the first Indian wedding that I properly experienced, apart from my own, of course. One aspect that caught my attention was that there were no restrictions for anyone when it came to guests. Almost anyone, regardless of their religion or financial status, could enter, enjoy the feast, and participate. In Europe, we usually count the number of guests, and the specific number of seats are assigned in advance according to the number of guests who are expected. But in India, celebrations and happiness have no barriers and no restrictions. By the way, I want our viewers to know that we are putting the final touches to the 10th episode of the Should India Follow the West Blindly series, and we expect it to be released in a few days. Please make sure that you don't miss it. See you again.